What is up, my veggies? My name is VTR, and welcome back to another movie review. And today, we're going to be reviewing Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Yes, I'm going to get my Steven Universe the movie review up. It's just I want to review these movies first. I have 3 movies I need to review first before I review that. So I'm going to wait a little while, especially so I can wait for more people to see it, because it's going to be super hard to avoid spoilers, to avoid bringing up spoilers for that movie. But I will get around to reviewing it. And by the way, also new glasses. I got new glasses. But with that being said, let's go ahead and get to talk about Dora and the Lost City of Gold. Honestly, this movie was a complete shock to me. Like, there's legit stuff in this movie I was like, huh? And whoa, I actually didn't have high hopes for this movie, but I didn't have low expectations either. Because literally this movie felt like a Tomb Raider for little kids. And that's exactly what this movie is. And literally, I grew up watching Dora. It was one of the shows that I watched a lot as a child. And I used to love it when I was little. I used to watch it all the time. I loved it. Looking back at it, I'm like, why did I enjoy that? But it was enjoyable, and I have looked back at it some, and I'm like, I see why I like that. It's not a bad kids cartoon. But then when I heard they were doing a live action adaptation of Dora the Explorer, and I saw that first image of Dora in this movie, I was like, huh. They're actually doing this. And that really shocked me. Now, if you guys don't recognize the actress that plays Dora in this movie, one reason why I believe that she's in this movie is because, one, she looks just like Dora, but she's also been in a Nickelodeon show called 100 Things to Do Before High School or something like that. I watched a little bit of it. It's pretty much just like Nessie Classified, but nowadays, but like for a new audience, I guess. Which is interesting, but I'm not going to talk too much about that. The thing is about this movie, though, it starts off with actually the theme song from Dora the Explorer. And I'm like, I'm actually glad they did that. And the way they did it was actually really, really interesting. And I like how this movie brings some realism to what was in how the original series was. And like, this is all in Dora's head. All that was in Dora's head, and all that. That's hilarious. And the reason why Boots doesn't wear boots in this movie, I found it a little funny. And that's the good thing about this movie. The comedy is pretty good. Yes, there's like exactly 2 scenes that I was groaning through. There was some fart and poop jokes, and legit, I hated those moments. And you guys know I hate fart and poop jokes with a burning passion. But with that being said, this movie didn't have a lot of those, except for those 2 scenes. Yeah, the little stuff was brought up here and there, but like the comedy for the most part, I like how self-aware this movie is. And there's one animated sequence in this movie. I'm not going to tell you when or what it is, but it's like, it gets me nostalgic. I'm like, okay, that's cool. I like that. And like, it was some updated animation, but like, it got some Easter eggs. There's some Easter eggs in this movie to the original series of Dora the Explorer and Go Diego Go. Actually, there's actually some little hints, references into there as well. And Dora is actually a very relatable character in this, because she acts kind of like she doesn't care what anyone else thinks of her type of thing. She is going to be her. And that I actually like. There is a character in this movie that is really unlikable for most of the movie, but then she actually kind of comes a little more likability. And at first, some characters in this movie just feel like they're useless. They don't need to be here. And yes, to an extent that is true. But then eventually every character does have a role. Now, some stuff in this movie is pretty predictable, but that's fine. I'm not shocked that this movie had a predictable plot. I'm not shocked at that. I wasn't expecting anything grand from this movie. And with Nickelodeon bringing back a lot of their old shows in movie form, they've done it with this is the first one to get a theatrical release. Like on TV, they did it with Hey Arnold and Legend of the Hidden Temple, or whatever that's what it's called. But that was a game show, but they made a movie for it. So, and they've also on Netflix they've done Invader Zim and Rocko's Modern Life. So that's what. Including this, that's 5 movies that have come back. Now, the thing is, why does this get a bigger release, a theatrical release, and a live action treatment? I believe it was live action to make it reach to more people's, I don't know what I'm trying to say, perspective, or just like to reach to more people, because like if you saw a 2D animated Dora the Explorer movie, a lot of people would not go see it because it probably would be talking down to the audience and all that stuff. And there are parts in this movie like that, but they're done in a self-aware way, and it's funny. The actor that got to play Dora is great. This got a pretty good cast. There's not really any annoying characters, annoying jokes. There is one like some annoying character, and Swiper is actually in this more than for just a cameo, surprisingly. By those of you who are hoping for that, we did it. You don't get that, but you do get a "we did it" type song, which is really interesting, and I really do like this. I'm not really going to spoil the movie because it is a fun ride. It's a great family film. And especially this movie, I can tell, was actually made for people who watched Dora growing up, and now they're like teenagers or early adults and stuff like that, and now I can tell this movie's kind of made for them, because a lot of kids nowadays don't even really know what Dora is, even though like only just a few years ago there was this continuation of the series where her as a teenager, which I know nothing about because I never watched. I just watched the original series. And I do like the Easter eggs in this. There's tons of Easter eggs, and there's some why moments and what moments, and that makes for a great ride. Movies like this usually get a bad rep. So far, with all these Nickelodeon movies that I've seen that have been coming out like for the new thing, well, I guess you could say this for all these like revamps of shows that have ended. They've really been good. All of them I've seen so far. The thing is, most of Nickelodeon's standalone movies that aren't based on something else are bad. But this is there's interesting concepts in this film. And there's just interesting characters, interesting character development. There's actually some mature moments in this movie, and you wouldn't expect that from a Dora the Explorer movie. And I'm like sitting here like thinking, wow, I actually walked out of watching a Dora the Explorer movie and loved it. I hope I'm able to put this in the top 12. But like I said earlier before, there's been so many good movies this year. So it's going to be really hard to make the list this year. We are getting close to the end of the year. We've got about, 4 or 5 more months left? It's September, so the rest of September, October, November, December. We got like 4-ish months left. About 4 months left, so we're close to the end of the year. So, hopefully we get some good stuff for this, more good movies coming out. There's some stuff that is still coming out that I want to see, some movies that I want to go see that I don't think are going to make on the top 12, to be honest. But this movie, it does, if you want a fun family film to go see this. I have to give this a strong 3.5 out of 5. I would give it a 4, but I don't think it's deserving of a 4. But I don't want to give it a straight up 3. Really brings it down for me because the poop jokes really did, and the scene with the poop jokes did stretch out too much, and the characters just the fact that like a little bit of magic was introduced in this, which I was like, spoilers by the way, I didn't mean to. And I was like, why? Like, why do you give me spoilers? I wasn't really big on that. Not spoilers, I mean magic. Like that, I was like, I saw that scene, I'm like, why? And literally they give Dora this quirk in the movie where she sings all the time. I don't really remember that being like, I know there was like singing in the original series, but nothing up to this extent because it gets to like where the characters get in. It's not a musical, but Dora sings to an annoying level sometimes. And even though there is a big song and dance number at the end of the movie, there is stuff in this to enjoy. I'm not bashing the movie. I did really enjoy it. It's definitely, I just saw something, a bug. I just saw a bug. But that's really a lot to say about this movie. There's nothing horrible about it. There's nothing really insulting about it. And it's just overall a fun and entertaining ride. And if you need something fun to occupy yourself or your kids, this isn't a bad option. Because I definitely would rather see this than some of the other kids' movies we're getting nowadays. Emoji movie. Cigar Pets. Minions. Oh. Forgot I had Netflix loading up over there. But that's all I have to say for this video, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye!